I told y'all I'm the real deal. These little boys that 140 cannot fuck with me. I am the best, and I'm going to keep proving it.
This bum go over 5 rounds, I won't return to the United States for 30 days. That's final. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
Game ain't nobody like me. Smooth, cool, out the jungle, top 100 reaches. Too much.
Well, it's not on Facebook, so like you say we're live, but we're not live. Like we're not.
We're live though.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to wait until he pulls it up. Oh, I think it might have just been on. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, let me turn this down. Let me turn this down. There it is.
You found it?
Yeah.
We're there. We're live.
I did not see it yet. Man, why can't I see this yet? Uh-oh. I just found it. But I need to pop up on here. But anyways, what's up? What's up? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Michael, Grant Miles, Lou Savarese, coming live to you from Savarese Fight Fit here on Lights Out with Lou. Incredible show tonight. We're going to try to break down this Joshua Fury. Man,
lots of drama.
Just drama and a lot of money. Lots of money going in between this thing. But, ooh, mine's loud.
Sad, though, because this is one of the things that boxing, remember I was saying last week, this is great for boxing, and now it's going to put a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's unfortunate because I feel like boxing is getting a lot of really good positive momentum right now.
Yeah, and I was so excited because I truly believe that the money that's out there right now was the reason this fight was going to happen. And I hate to see.
Well, it's not that it's not going to happen, and we'll get into it in a little bit.
Yeah,
but there's 4 boxers that are involved in this whole thing.
It taints the.
Yeah, especially when you have all this YouTube boxing stuff going on with the Triller stuff. But anyways, and by the way, I mean I'll wait to get in. Anyways, Lights Out with Lou Savarese. Obviously, Lou over here at the end, and man, thank you for joining us, Kevin, Gary. All the people, Justin, yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
We're at Savarese Fight Fit, and I have to tell you, usually when I pull in here, because you've got a pretty decent parking lot, I got a spot or two, that I could pull into. When I pulled in here tonight, there was nothing available.
Nowhere to park.
Like, nowhere to park. They were even parking next door at Woodrow's.
Really? That's great. The classes have really been filling up, and we're excited, man. It's just people are getting back to stuff. Things are normal. I mean, things are restaurants I've been going to. Everything's getting crowded and coming back. So let's just hope it stays that way, man.
Yeah, I mean, it looks, dude, the classes look great. I love coming in here and seeing your trainers because we only have like 45 minutes to set up in between. By the way, great job, guys, on setting up.
Yeah, I was going to say, hold up on we.
Yeah.
We don't set anything up.
Man, I got the table out.
We don't set anything up, man. You start, oh, yeah, we do all this hard work. We come in and we put all this up. Nah, Zach, those guys, they set it up real quick, so.
Yeah,
just want to make sure I give them props before you start taking some credit.
I said, oh, man, I didn't even get to finish.
Speaking French, we. Got a frog in your pocket.
Yeah. A frog in your pocket?
Yeah.
Man, speaking of
frogs.
frogs.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Speaking of frogs, the weather here in Houston, a lot of you that are watching the show aren't from here and don't live here, but the weather here has been unbelievably bad. So thank you guys for making it up here and doing the show. There's flooding everywhere. It's supposed to rain for the next few days too. Last night I had hail at my house. I'm gonna get a new roof.
It's not gonna stop. You got roof damage?
Oh yeah, a bad hail for about 5 minutes.
You're a little young to be talking about the weather so much. I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
But I appreciate you calling me young, man. I could end the show right now. I'm good.
What are you, 44?
Damn it. Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, you were the one that bragged about your birthday last month, so
I was
brought it up every day.
Plumbers Union in New York, and there was a guy, Joe Puglisi, who was a legend in the Plumbers Union. So I was the coffee boy, and I come back, and all they were talking about is plumbing and pipes. And I said, don't you guys ever want to talk about girls? As a kid, when you get my age, 2 most important things: bowel movements and the weather. It's so true. First thing I do is read papers.
Look.
So are you at that point now where those are 2 important things for you?
Very important.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary Salusi asked if Cooney's coming in town next week on Monday.
He's supposed to be. Cooney is going to be coming in town, so as we know right now. So
I'm excited. You've got 7 days from today where you will be 1 year sober.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big event.
I think, yeah.
Is that what he's coming in for?
Yeah. Jerry's been, I think, 28 years now he's been sober.
Has he been somebody that has been kind of helping you through this process?
Yeah, we've been we were always close, but we've gotten even closer at school. And it's been a really neat trip because he was like my idol growing up. I mean, I hitchhiked once out to his. He had a bar called Cooney's. How creative! And I hitchhiked out there.
How creative. Well, it'll be interesting.
I couldn't get in because I didn't have.
Yeah.
My fake ID didn't work.
It'll be fun. I mean, we can't get into it too much. Hopefully, we end up doing something on the show with Cooney when he's here. But
there's a couple other people coming too, though, right?
Yeah, other guys. Yeah. No,
who else is coming?
Nobody famous though.
It's all right. Who you got coming?
Patrick Kana.
Is it like friends, family?
Johnny the Jew, Johnny Silverman, my good buddy.
Johnny the Jew, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny the Jew. I just want to meet these guys and or have them on the show because it just sounds like a good time.
Absolutely.
Like we'll have to have a round table and get everybody to sit in here, but we'll figure it out. But
how about the Lou stories we would hear?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
We would need a 2-hour show.
Yes, and even if we don't get them on,
we would need a 2-hour.
I still want to sit around and talk to them because I'll have content for the next 7 to 8 shows.
Yes,
like
more than that.
I'd have to have a recorder out and just put it on the table and be like, "Here we go, let's go."
Absolutely.
So that won't be happening.
That won't be happening. How do you know?
It's exactly. Gary Saluzzi says Cooney's East Side Pub is what you're talking about.
Was that what it's called? East Side Pub?
Yeah, Cooney's East Side Pub.
Pretty cool.
And you couldn't get in. You didn't have a fake ID. Your fake ID.
It was in Huntington. Ex-Gary, I think. Huntington.
How big were you at that time?
What do you mean how big?
Same size you are right now? As far as height.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
But you were 16, right? 16?
No, I grew. Yeah, I was 17.
17?
I was 17, yeah.
Now, this is New York, so was the drinking age 18 or 21?
No, in Jersey, New York was 18, Jersey was 21.
Where was the pub at?
In New York.
So it was 18 and up, but you were 17, your ID just didn't work?
Yeah,
that's pretty ballsy of that person not to let you in.
Yeah.
Woo! I mean, it's easy to be like the dude that's like 5'8", 5'9", be like, bro, get out of here, man, you can't come in. But tell this cat here, hey, you can't come in, sir.
Yeah, that would be mad. But listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. Man, lots to get into with the boxing world. This Wilder Joshua Fury mess is, I don't even know where to begin with this thing. It came out yesterday that now where do you want to start with this, Grant? Like,
I mean, there's all kinds of places to start. I don't know what anybody knows about it, but so one of the things we've talked about, and I know you're kind of getting caught up too, right? I mean, you're not too familiar with what's going on. So Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury have been going back and forth on exactly setting down a date, figuring out where they're going to fight.
They had the date though, and they had the spotters.
Now
they haven't locked it down 100%. They've gotten like 2 dates, but they're at the point where they have 2 dates in mind though.
Right, but it wasn't going to be in Dubai, right? They remember we talked about that.
Yeah, correct. So the Saudis were going to be in charge of all this, so lots of hype coming into it. But basically what's happened is after loads of hype, all kinds of, securing what was called at the time, right now, the biggest site fee in history of boxing. I think it was going to be like $155 million.
Man.
It seemed the battle for the undisputed heavyweight championship between WBC champ Tyson Fury and WBO, WBA, and IBF champ Anthony Joshua was finally a done deal. Then an arbitrator ruled Fury must face Deontay Wilder in a third bout between the two before mid-September. So an arbitrator came in and said that. So Wilder was guaranteed a fight with Fury after Fury beat him in their rematch, in their 2020 rematch.
Yeah, so
that's really common. Just so the listeners know, is we have rematch clauses all the time. And you always try and get that in there.
Yeah. So and it was the short end of the money, whatever. So anyways, so people can understand this. Like Tyson, Fury, and Joshua set up this fight. And apparently it was a done deal. Wilder goes behind and says, look here, he has to fight me because it was in our contract that he was guaranteed a third fight. The loser was, right?
Correct.
The loser was guaranteed to, they could call out the other one for another
They weren't
fight.
guaranteed, but they could initiate. Like they could say, we want a third fight, and then they could get that.
Yeah, and so that's why an arbitrary set in motion, and it was granted. And so now we don't know what fight is going to happen because now we have this other guy coming in Usyk, who's guaranteed, is supposed to be guaranteed by WBO a fight.
Man, this
with Joshua.
This is terrible for boxing because I was so excited because the fight that was supposed to happen is going to happen, and now it gets, the waters get muddied again with this. That's terrible, man. It's just who was the sanction body that's saying that? Is the WBA?
This one is saying, let me
the
see.
WBO orders promoters.
Yeah, the WBO.
Okay, so this came out today. The WBO orders promoter to show cause on why organizations shouldn't force Anthony Joshua to enter negotiations with Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, but the thing that's caused all this, so again to what we were saying, there's a stipulation where the loser of that Fury fight could create a third one and would get the short side.
Fury Wilder.
Correct. Would get a short side of a 60-40 per split. Wilder initiated it before COVID-19. Now, of course, COVID-19 happens.
I think there's an obvious solution for this.
What is it?
It is the people in Dubai that are going to give up all the money. They give a step-aside fee to one of the fighters.
All right.
So they'll have the...
Glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's normally what happened. I remember Hasim Rockman, I can't remember what fight. He was supposed to fight Lennox Lewis as a mandatory, but it wasn't a great... there was a much bigger fight out there for Lewis, and they did that, and they gave Rockman, I believe maybe it was his biggest purse ever, not to fight.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because then whenever you read stories in relation to what Wilder is saying, Wilder's point basically is, I should get that fight, and if I'm not going to get that fight, step-aside fee, $30 million.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's, I mean...
$30 million.
Unreal money.
You got to start high.
Well, because, of course, Saudis are the ones that are responsible for all this. And Saudis spend $30 million like we spend $20. So, I mean, I'm sure for Wilder, that's his point, is basically you've got a $155 million site fee for them to fight.
Yep.
That's right. I mean, I thought of right away. So, because if they got that kind of money, why not pay a step-aside fee? It's not going to be, chump change for them.
I mean, how crazy is that, though, if you're Wilder? I mean, you could basically not fight and get $30 million.
I always said that's when you've hit the height of boxing, when you get big step-aside money.
Wow.
Well, and now you've got Wilder and
excuse me for throwing, but
no, go ahead.
And more than likely, what's going to happen is if he does step aside, he gets the next fight, so that's going to be huge.
Well, especially, and that's where you start to wonder about the promotion of this, and just it's always timing.
This has been common throughout boxing. People have gotten step aside money for as long as I can remember.
But this close to a decision, like they're literally giving them a time frame of 48 hours to make a decision on how this is going to go, or else it's going to go automatic. Wilder and Fury.
Who's doing that?
The arbitrator said they have 48 hours. They basically have 48 hours for Fury and Joshua to make a decision on when this fight's going to happen and how they're going to settle the differences. They have 48 hours to figure it out.
Well, that gives a lot of leverage to the guys that are maybe going to get step aside money. Jeez.
I can't imagine. I mean, that would be. I mean, that would have to be the largest step aside money anybody's ever.
By far. I mean, I think the most I've ever even vaguely remember was $4 million.
$4 million?
Yeah.
I mean, Wilder's just got. But like I said, I mean, the timing of all this is, I don't know. And then, of course, Joshua is, or I'm not Joshua, Wilder is talking all kinds of shit about Fury and how much he screwed this up. This is basically what Joshua has said. Anthony Joshua said on social media, Tyson Fury, the world now sees you for the fraud you are. You've let boxing down. You lied to the fans and led them on. Use my name for clout and not for a fight. Bring me any championship fighter that can handle their business correctly.
Wait. Why is he saying that about? I don't understand.
I don't know. That's what he's saying. I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe. So that's what's confusing about this this article is talking about Anthony Joshua. Yeah, no, it's Anthony Joshua saying this.
But Joshua is saying that Fury should have known that he had a.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking this is Anthony Joshua on social media. I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe page to raise money for Wilder's step-aside payment, $20 million, so I can smoke that fat guy, Fury, with skinny legs from Manchester. These heavyweights need a podcast or something because they do more talking than fighting.
I like it. It's good to the point.
Yeah, man.
Good to the point.
For those of y'all watching, man, sorry, the signal seems to be breaking up a little bit. We're working to get it fixed right now. Sorry about that. The weather here is terrible, so internet connections
oh boy,
might be a little
hard to understand with good connection.
Yeah, right.
I will articulate.
So, I mean, breaking down this a little, you don't want to get into it too much in detail, but what So now they have 48 hours to figure this out. Basically, is what they're saying. Who fights? Like who fights who?
What do you mean?
Well, I think it all comes down to the step aside money. I mean, if somebody comes up with the step aside money, Wilder obviously would be like, okay, I'll gladly take that step aside and let Joshua and Fury fight.
Yeah,
No, but now Olnick, the
you'll be
WBO says that he has to fight Olnick.
Look,
Yeah, but they can still, if the guy, nobody can make the guy fight somebody. If he says,
Or Usyk, sorry, not
yeah,
Olnick.
if the guy
Usyk.
agrees to step aside, then they're going to let that happen.
well, like anything in life, money talks. I mean, if somebody puts up the money, everybody's going to be like, oh, okay. Well,
This
then
is
that's
going to be
cool.
expensive for a lot of people.
Well, I think it's going to be expensive for like you said. I mean, it's going to be expensive for the people that are wanting to put this
For
thing
the
on, which is the
Saudis,
Saudis. I mean, and like we say, they've
It could go either way, though. You don't want this to go bad for boxing. Like, if none of these fights happen, like, because of just, negotiations again, that's a bad look for boxing. Especially the heavyweights who have 3 or 4 guys right now in the heavyweight division that can draw in a crowd, that can bring in big money. And for them not to come together on it is terrible look for boxing.
well, it's very, especially with what's going on with Tyson Fury. I mean, I can imagine for Wilder and Joshua, it's really infuriating because it seems like their camp is
No
very
pun
wishy.
intended.
What?
No pun intended.
Pun intended. They're very wishy-washy on exactly, like no decision has been made. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going behind the scenes that's really affecting that. But, I mean, I know you kind of went into it a little bit earlier, but kind of speak to what you hope to see in result of all this.
Well, I'd like to see Fury, the original fight, happen. I mean, and if they do get step-aside money, that's probably what's going to happen. I didn't even know that was on the table, but I think more than likely, especially with the Saudis having that kind of money, and it would be crazy for, Wilder not to take that money. I mean,
So are you wanting to see Fury Joshua or Fury Wilder again?
no, I want to see Fury Joshua.
Why that one?
Because it was one on the table. I've been wanting to see that. I mean, Joshua's, I think it's a better fight. I like that fight.
And according to the ring, when you look at the ratings for the ring, they've got, of course, Fury as the champion, and the number one challenger is Anthony Joshua. So that's kind of, that's kind of where they're going. And they got Deontay Wilder second. So, yeah, I mean,
And then it'll add to the lure again. I mean, because Wilder will be, he'll be the next guy, whoever wins. So it'll lead more to the what's the word I'm looking for? The
undisputed.
undisputed. Yeah, that's what I said. Undisputed heavyweight champion. That'd be great. We really need that.
Yeah, Tyson or Joshua. I mean, like I said,
Fury,
that's
Fury.
what's that?
Tyson Fury. Don't say Tyson because Tyson's fighting.
I said Tyson or Joshua.
I know, but you're saying not Tyson.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
There's a guy.
with you.
Remember
That
Mike
even
Tyson?
brings more confusion into this whole thing, because when you say Tyson, you mean Tyson Fury, but everybody
yes.
assumes you say Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is why when you look in a lot of
Used to be
writings, they talk
chicken.
about
Used to be-
Fury.
Used to be chicken, but now
Chicken. What do you
Tyson
mean?
Chicken. Tyson chicken.
Tyson chicken. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
wow, man, like deep thoughts from Lou Savarese.
I don't know how deep chicken thought is, but go ahead. I got deep thought.
Man, I haven't seen Tyson chicken in a while. They got all sorts of healthy, like.
Do they still do Tyson chicken?
I don't know.
Do they? Do you know?
They were all mobbed up. You know that, right?
What? The
Tyson
Tyson chicken was
chicken,
in the mob?
No, what's his name? Had a big. I read a book. It was Castellano. Paul Castellano used to do a lot of stuff with Tyson chicken. True story.
What do you mean? Did a lot
No,
of
he
stuff.
just they were kind of mobbed up. I don't know what
Oh,
he did with
okay.
them, but he did something with them.
So if you ate Tyson chicken, you contributed to the mob?
I'm not sure about that, but if you had chicken parmesan, definitely.
Chicken parmesan?
We'll try to get back to that in a little bit. Not the Tyson chicken, but the Fury, the Fury fight. Another thing. Look, Billy Joe Saunders had surgery on his eye socket. It was separated in 3 separate spots. I don't know how long this takes for him to get fixed, but man, separated in 3. Like his whole eye socket just came out.
Yeah.
What do you think on a wait time for something like that? A heel
don't
like
know.
that?
I think it's a lot more common than we think. I don't know about the severity of it, but a lot of guys probably have it broken and don't know. I mean, don't get it fixed or whatever. I bet that's the case, but I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be fixed, but how long it's going to take before he can get hit again? That's going to be the issue, I would imagine.
Man, yeah, I mean that's got to be shoot. I don't know exactly what a heel like that takes, but I can imagine it's something that.
But don't forget too, Saunders after losing, he's gonna need a tune-up fight, so he's not gonna go right back in the pitch. I wouldn't imagine. I imagine he's gonna have to have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily even just the healing part of it. It's the healing part of it, and then being able to take a punch. I mean, that's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. You know, how fragile is your bone, your eye socket after that? Is he going to fight again? That's the question that I would ask.
I'm sure he'll fight again.
Man, like, you got to be weary of the uppercut after that.
Yeah, I would assume you at that point you're pretty locked in where something like that's not going to bother you.
I think that a lot of guys probably have had this injury before a lot of times.
That severe?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, guys, it looks like we worked out a couple of the issues on the internet. Hopefully, we can hang on to it here. We were getting into the Wilder Joshua Fury mess, which is an absolute disaster. The step aside money is $20 to $30 million for Joshua. Or is it Wilder? There's so much.
No, Wilder would be the one who gets.
Wilder would get the step.
Yeah, Wilder would get.
And Lou was saying the fight that he would want to see would be the Fury Joshua fight. That's the best one for your money.
Yeah, and then what happens is the winner of that obviously fights Wilder. So now you have an undisputed champion. That's great.
Well, what happens to Usyk?
He's not a mandatory right now.
Yeah, he is. He's the mandatory fight for
Joshua.
WBA. For WBO.
For Joshua.
Yeah. That's why, this is such a mess.
We used to call it WBOGUS.
WBOGUS. Yeah. And this is where it gets so frustrating for boxing fans when it's easier to watch a YouTube star come and just fight somebody that from whatever, because that's, there's not all this mess to come.
I guess you look at it too. At least they're holding up the contract. If the guy really did have a rematch clause, then you have to honor that.
Yeah, there was one in there, and the point that they tried to make, or the point they're arguing, is that it ended in December, and then he's claiming because of COVID, so It's a mess. Like, it's an absolute disaster, but everybody wants to see, the bottom line is everybody wants to see that Joshua.
I just can't believe it seems that they were able to arbitrate this quickly and get it done. It just doesn't seem like that would move that expediently, but.
Well, they have 48 hours to figure this, to show cause on why the organization shouldn't force Joshua to enter negotiations with Alexander Usyk. They have 48 hours, 2 days from now.
Yeah.
Well, and then of course, you when you're Usyk too, which is what I'm reading currently, WBO mandatory challenger Alexander Usyk. Now, of course, you're like, okay, if you're Usyk, you're like, all right, well, now I want more money. If you've got this situation happening where it's kind of in limbo, and this is the situation, I want more money, which, everybody wants to try to get their money in this case.
They have to give two people step-aside money now, Usyk and Fury. And Wilder. You have to give two people step-aside money. It's getting expensive.
Yeah, it says as the mandatory WBO title challenger, Usyk, who's 18-0 with 13 KOs, he's no joke, has demanded his shot against Anthony Joshua. Although Hearn, who's the promoter, now has 48 hours to respond to the WBO's letter, he did indicate earlier this week he will have no other option than to look for an alternative fight if Fury is unavailable.
Yeah.
Who indicated? Hearn?
Hearn did. So, technically, because they're saying y'all need to show cause. Like, the fight between Fury.
What should happen is Fury should fight Joshua and Usyk should fight Wilder,
and then the winner, face each other. Yeah, have a little tournament, do something like that.
The undisputed heavyweight.
Well, and why didn't because you know a little bit more, a lot more about the makings of all that stuff behind it. Why don't they just make an agreement like that? Why don't they just say, hey, look, this is where we're at. This is what needs to happen.
Money. That's a fantasy world. It's not going to happen that way. But they're going to try. What's going to happen is you'll see they're going to try and get step aside money. Hopefully they can work it out.
$20-30 million step aside money, and like you said, they're going to get the next fight. Yeah. So you're looking at guaranteed $100 million. Like, if you get $30 million step aside, and you're going to get $70 million for the next fight.
I ain't mad at them.
Wow.
No. Well, and to Lou's point, you're also going to have to figure out something with Usyk. So you're going to have to figure out step aside for him as well.
Regardless of how this all works out, somebody needs to fight somebody. And
they need one sanctioning body too. That's why you have the BO, the BA, the BC. It's just
the BS
alphabet soup. Yeah, alphabet soup.
Yeah, it's all
alphabet.
They need one sanctioning body. That's what they need.
I agree, man.
All right, Plant. So do you know much about Plant and Alvarez?
No, I don't. I mean, I know Alvarez. I don't know much about Plant.
Well, Plant says he wants to fight Alvarez now and wants to unify the belts. I'm still on the...
Everybody wants to fight Alvarez.
Yes.
Yeah, that's money. But this unification of the belt thing seems to be very interesting for Canelo, right? That's the only thing left that he has not accomplished. So I guess Plant wants to fight Alvarez and unify the belts, and he says he's not scared of him. But, man, I see a little bit of hesitation coming from Plant in this, and I know he wants to, pretend like he's not scared of Alvarez, but, dude, you have to be at this point.
Who's Plant's biggest win?
I have to look at Grant for that.
You have to look at me?
Yeah.
For Plant? I don't know. I will ask you this. I'll check it out while you're talking about this. Something that would interest you, I saw Jamal Charlo says he'll fight Canelo Alvarez at 168 if it makes sense.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight. Charlo's tough. One of the Charlo brothers is fighting coming up.
In Toyota Center.
In Toyota Center, yeah. On Cinco de Mayo? No, Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. I forgot that was a thing. But, Cinco de Mayo had already passed.
Juneteenth, yeah. They're fighting Juneteenth. And Miguel's fighting on the card, too.
Yeah, I saw Miguel on there. Love following him on Instagram. That guy's amazing.
And who is Charlo fighting on that card?
Which one?
Coming up here right at the Toyota Center.
Let me see. See, y'all asking me all these questions, man.
Come on, dude.
Y'all are...
It's at Toyota Center. It's Juneteenth.
I'm not the only one here. Juneteenth is what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
Is that the 14th or the 15th?
See, I don't have all that right here in front of me. I'm going to look it up, though. I'm going to do everything that you're asking me, Lou.
What's the date of Juneteenth?
19th, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Am I right?
Juneteenth was
Juneteenth? When's Juneteenth?
Why'd you look at the That's messed up.
Because, I'm asking whoever's here if they know.
Gary says, Jeff, you love those
June
Bang
19th.
drinks. I got it, man. These Bang drinks, honestly, I did Red Bull. These things have 0 calories, 0 sugars, and, man, they do wake you up. Even more impressive is what Grant is drinking this evening. This Boochcraft. Dude, this thing, read this thing.
Hard kombucha.
What is that?
You like kombucha?
I have no idea.
You don't know what kombucha is?
What do you think kombucha is?
What do you think kombucha is?
I know what kombucha is.
Oh, okay.
You do know?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's got stuff in it.
It's got stuff in it.
Yeah. I've seen things floating around that. I've seen that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically black. It's tea. It's black tea and cane sugar.
Nice.
But it's 7% alcohol.
And this thing's 7% alcohol. Is it a beer? What's it taste like?
I don't know. Tastes like a drink.
It's got raw kombucha, grapefruit.
Boochcraft?
Kombucha.
Listen,
Yeah.
hibiscus, heather, dried ginger, and yeast.
I was just going to say, you're going to get a yeast infection from that thing. No doubt about it.
The only downfall I see on this thing is 230 calories. That's a lot for one can.
Dude, he's not worried about it. Look at this guy. He's ripped.
Yeah, he's ripped.
I count my calories.
I do too, actually.
So I'm good.
I do.
I'm good. I'm all right, man. But I appreciate you looking out for my caloric intake. That's awesome, dude.
Dude, but that thing seems...
You're a nice
I was
guy.
wondering the other day, when they're going to come out with something, healthy to drink. Where
There
you
you
can
go.
get a buzz and stay healthy. I mean, I'm glad we're talking about this when Lou's got his year coming up.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Aren't you happy about that? Which Charlo brother you said is fighting here pretty soon?
Jamal, I believe, is fighting.
Jamal?
Yeah.
Man, Jamal's 31-0, man. That's crazy. He's fighting Juan Macias Montiel.
What's his record?
His record is 22-4.
Okay.
22-4 and 2 draws, yeah. So
On record, it seems like he should win.
June 19th.
Charlo should.
I was correct.
Thank you.
June 19th.
Is June 19th, yes, sir.
I knew that. So just want to make sure that y'all knew that. So yeah, it's going to be Juan Macias Montiel.
Did we look up Robert Plant? Is it Robert Plant? It says he wants to fight Alvarez.
That would be the musician.
Yeah, I know.
What's that?
I said Robert Plant.
Bobby Plant,
Robert, yeah. Well,
30-5.
Bobby Plant.
Yeah, Bobby Plant. Are you sure it's Bobby Plant? Is that correct? Am I speaking about the right person? Because it says he's an inactive boxer.
No, it's not Bobby Plant.
Well, that's what came up.
Egg.
Huh?
Egg.
Huh?
Eggplant.
Eggplant.
See, man, that's why I've said when we started this show from the
Plant.
very beginning, sometimes, man, I just don't know if you're joking or not.
Yeah, when I say
Egg.
eggplant, yeah.
Well, because at first I couldn't calculate you said egg, so I was just like, what?
It's not Robert Plant.
Yeah, I remember Robert Plant.
Oh, yeah. See, y'all are screwing me up. I can't. What I'm thinking of the guy's first name. What's the guy's
We're
first
having
name?
Facebook technical issues. Not anymore. So hopefully we got that.
What's the guy's first name? Plant.
I'll have to look it up, man.
Jeez, come on, Jeff.
We've talked about 17 different boxers this evening.
I know.
Put in Plant versus
Alvarez.
Yeah.
Plant versus Alvarez. I'll do that. Thank y'all.
Man,
That's good. That's a good help.
Patrick, man, thanks for hanging with us, Patrick and Gary and Austin. I think he's going to join back in a minute.
How much alcohol is in that coochie thing?
Yeah, the coochie.
Kombucha.
No more coochie.
Kombucha.
No more coochie for you.
Yeah. No, y'all don't know what you're talking about.
Man coochie. What do you call it? Man coochie.
No, it's good stuff, man. It's good for you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyways, Plant says he wants to fight Alvarez and wants to unify the belts, which should be very, very, very interesting. I still think that Plant should go with. I'm not Plant, but Alvarez should go with the Triple G trilogy. Yeah, if he signs a 2-fight deal with Triple G, I mean, everybody's going to watch those fights.
There's a lot of bigger fights than Plant.
Plant is 21-0. His last fight was January. He fought Caleb Truax. And really, when I sit here and look through his record, I don't really recognize anybody that he's fought. Truax, when it came to that fight, was 31-4.
Okay.
So beat him by unanimous decision.
But Plant has a belt that Alvarez needs to unify. International
Boxing Federation super middleweight title.
That's a big belt, and I think it's the first time since the 60s or maybe the 50s that would be a unification, and that's what Alvarez. I just don't see that as a big draw for Alvarez. If he wants to make the fight, cool, but I don't think that's a big money fight.
I mean, that's a big draw for Plant.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
obviously,
Plant,
I'd put his
he's
name
going to
up
get
there.
planted.
There's so many other.
Caleb Plant. That's
there you
what
go.
There's so many other big fights out there. I mean, that would be the least I think.
I would have Triple G fight Plant and to get the belt, and then have Alvarez fight Triple G.
What do you think, Charlo? Do you think he could get up there and
yeah, he's tough. I mean, I wonder if Canelo wants to fight Charlo. Charlo's tough. That'd be. I mean, style wise, he gives Canelo a good fight.
So, what do you think Canelo's next person in line should be?
I mean, I would like to see him fight Mayweather again, but that ain't gonna happen.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
No way.
No, I know. I mean, I like Triple G. That'd be good. That'd be that'd be a good one too, a big one.
Who's on the cards? What's his name wants to fight? Like, what's the rankings where Alvarez is right now?
As far as pound for pound, or
yeah.
Well, pound for pound,
Terrence Crawford is the one I think that everybody would love to see.
Yeah, that'd be a tough fight. But what's Crawford at? What weight is he? 56 or?
They've got Terrence Crawford. Well, he's WBO. So Terrence Crawford, I don't know what weight they've got that guy at, but
we'll figure it out. Hey, real quick, just to get away, you went to B&B's. We had the UFC fights here in Houston this past weekend, which were a phenomenal hit. They broke the inside record for UFC fights.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, Houston did an incredible job of hosting the event. Obviously, Dana White was in town. Joe Rogan was in town. They were all over social media. They were everywhere doing things. You got to sit down with Joe Rogan, yeah? I mean, not Joe Rogan, Dana White.
And Matt Serra, a bunch of guys at B&B Butchers. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Did y'all talk about anything interesting or just, I mean?
The one I was really talking to most was Matt Serra because he's from Long Island, and we just talked a lot about it. He knows Cooney real well, and we talked a lot about fighters and stuff and guys we knew that we knew in common.
I'm excited for Cooney to come in town. We've talked to him on the phone on the other show before, and I've never met the guy, obviously, but he's one of your good friends, and I'm excited for Cooney to come in town. He's big?
Yeah, he's huge. He's probably, he's a big guy. He's probably 6'6", big dude.
Wow. He's bigger than you?
Yeah, a little bit taller than me, yeah.
Man.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think that. Wow.
I didn't think that at all.
That's crazy.
We'd have to sit them on opposite ends or something. Me and you sit in the middle.
I know. It looked really weird.
I'd say he was the biggest puncher in boxing.
What was it? What's his name? Called him the Great White Hope. Great White Hope.
Who's that?
The famous promoter, Tyson's promoter, Don King.
Don King.
Yeah, Don King nicknamed George Cooney the Great White Hope.
Did you hear what he just said? George Clooney.
No, I did not. And you said that last time.
You said George Cooney.
I said Cooney.
Can we go back on the tape?
Yeah,
No, you did.
Did you say Clooney?
You said George.
No.
Okay.
George. It's Jerry.
Jerry.
You said George.
I said George?
Yes.
All right, Jerry Cooney, my bad.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Sorry, people.
Jerry Cooney.
George Clooney.
I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't happen all the time.
Oh, I'm sure it happens quite a bit.
What?
George.
That says,
George Clooney, Jerry Cooney.
yeah, it's very similar.
Andy Rooney.
Andy Rooney. Well, no, that didn't start with a G though.
Oh, okay.
Coot. I mean, they're right there. Anyways, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you're screwing up.
Golly, let me get off the show. My bad. Don't need to be on here. Let's ask Siri some questions. Go ahead, Grant. What are we looking up now?
I'm looking up Terrence Crawford. I was wanting to see what his weight class is, or not weight class, but what his weight is. I mean, last time they have him down, they have him at 150. Is what weight they have him at Terrence Crawford, 150.
So he'd have to move up.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, and that's what's interesting when you look at the weight class, or you look at the ratings at least, compare on the ring. They got Terrence Crawford pound for pound, number 3 rating.
Crawford's he's a bad dude, man.
And what's surprising about it too is you have at fourth you have Alexander Usyk. You don't even have Tyson Fury, according to the ring. You don't even have Tyson Fury in the top 10 as far as pound for pound.
You're not gonna have Usyk fourth, you said?
Yeah, they got him 4th.
Yeah,
and of course it's the ring. I mean, I don't know if there's any.
I love your idea of having Usyk and Wilder fight, and then having Fury and Joshua fight.
That would
and
like
then
to.
The winner takes the winner.
It happens a lot throughout history of boxing on elimination tournaments, and then you have to, the true champions there.
To his point, I mean, that's what would make sense. That's why I don't understand why they don't just do something like that. Why that doesn't happen. And of course, I know it's money and all that stuff. I get all that, but it's still.
They're in line for the championship. They don't want to take a chance fighting another tough guy and losing, and then that kid.
Well, my point was earlier is that you have 4 legit heavyweights right now that are fun to watch. So y'all have to make something work in this like era of boxing, because if you don't, people are going to go back to being like, this is why we left boxing in the first place. Like, it's just, this gets annoying, it gets old, all negotiations, and then they fall through. Yeah, we guarantee a fight, and then the fight doesn't happen. Like, just earlier we saw the Joshua and Tyson or Joshua Fury fight was set, done, Saudi Arabia, ready to go. Now it comes out, maybe not. Like, boxing fans are tired of that.
Where does Jake Paul fit in?
Well, when he says he's going to fight, he fights.
well, to that point. But that's what's been great about our conversation that we've had so far. We've gone all this time until you did it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You brought him up.
I know.
We hadn't talked about any of the Paul brothers until right now. We went this whole show. We went for the first almost 40 minutes of the show.
Bet you they drink coochie, whatever they drink.
Coochie.
Guaranteed.
Drinking it's
kombucha.
Boochcraft with kombucha. See, I said George Clooney, and you couldn't even say Boochcraft kombucha.
No, he's trying to give me a hard time, man.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But it's okay. It's all right.
What is that insignia on the front? What would that be?
What are you talking
about? Is that a grapefruit?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's on here.
Is that breast cancer awareness?
I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
breast cancer.
Boobcraft.
Breast cancer. Boom. There you go.
What else happened?
Let's eradicate
Lou,
it.
I did not. So I looked at your Instagram, Lou. I didn't see any risque photos this week. Like, were you just bored?
No, actually my cousin sent me a picture of me, her, and Ricky Lake.
I did see that.
Okay, man, I'm glad you brought that up. So tell me about Ricky Lake. Tell me about your time meeting Ricky Lake.
Well, my cousin was her producer, so I got on her show twice. One time I was on, it was funny. I went on as a boot camp instructor because guys were calling that I was fat, and so they made these guys come on, and I put them through a really tough workout.
Wasn't there didn't she have some huge controversy? Ricky Lake did some weird stuff happened to her.
I remember her husband Milo, and she had a couple of kids, 2 kids.
Yeah,
she was a sweetheart. I liked her a lot.
So you went on the Ricky Lake show twice.
Twice, yeah. I was on Queen Latifah once too.
You were on Ricky Lake and Queen Latifah.
What did you on Queen Latifah's show?
Oh, we got to pull this up.
I can't remember.
That's already what I'm trying to do.
My cousin was her assistant producer, Queen Latifah.
Oh my God!
What did you do on Queen Latifah's show?
I can't remember. It was something. But,
you don't remember what you were there for?
It was. I was a boxer. I wasn't much of a stretch.
You played that role great, I bet.
Yeah, you did well. You did well.
I did a boot camp at Queen Latifah. I can't remember which one.
What's up with all these people asking you to do boot camps? What's that all about?
No. I did 2 different things because I did Ricky Lake twice, and I did Queen Latifah once. I didn't do her, but I in fact, Queen Latifah.
That'd be a hell of a story.
I think Queen Latifah liked women too.
Dude, I wish we could get into like your personal life, and man, I'm gonna squeeze them in every now and then. Like Lou's personal life would be amazing because I bet,
That'd be
and that's
fun.
why I want to sit down with Jerry Cooney and
Don't
like,
know about my personal life.
like get some
I don't know
stories
about
out.
Personal life.
What's that?
We've been married a long time.
Who?
Cooney.
I'm not talking about Cooney's personal life. I don't have him on the show all the time. It's you.
Let's not do it. Let's not go there.
We like having you on the show. We like talking to you.
Who else can? I was on Ricky Lake twice.
I know.
was on
That's
Queen
awesome, dude.
Latifah.
Actually,
Like,
my cousin Teresa was her producer.
I remember watching that show. It
I
was
got
an
to use
interesting
the
show.
restroom. This bang.
The Ricky Lake show. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, are you leaving?
I gotta pee.
Okay. All right.
I quit drinking the Bucci.
No, he's drinking the Bang. That's what he's drinking.
Do it.
Do you drink any energy drinks?
I do.
What do you drink?
I like Bang, or the other one I like is it's called Synergy. It's an all natural one. I like the one better.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
See, that's why I'm doing kombucha here. You know, it's all natural stuff, man.
yeah, alcohol too.
Well, I mean, it's got 7%. That's what it says. That's what the can says. It says 7%.
Yeah, when you drink 14 of them, no, it's gonna be.
No. I'm not going to drink 14
I'm
of those.
joking.
That's crazy. I wouldn't drink that much. 12, not 14. So tell me, man, about what do you know, one of the things that I've always wanted to ask you when it comes to boxing and the fighting world is, what if someone sat down with you in the boxing world and said, okay, Lou Savarese, what do you want to see? What do you want to see next in boxing? What do you want to see the sport grow and progress? What do you want to see things
Well, just what we
improve or
talked
get
about.
better?
I mean, just have the fights that should happen, and not. What's going on right now is really, it's such a roller coaster ride, because I was so excited that the actual fight that should happen was going to happen. Remember, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
And now it looks like it's going to be tainted if it does happen. But hopefully things. The good thing is, it seems like it's going to be over pretty expediently. They're saying 2 days, so that should be, something has to come to fruition, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like we said, if somebody wants to put up the money for it, absolutely.
Yeah, the problem is, though, if they say then there's a lawsuit, then you can get an injunction. There's a bunch of problems with that, too.
Does it disappoint you? I mean, when you see this kind of stuff happening in boxing,
Yeah,
does it disappoint you?
I was so excited that the fight that was supposed to happen is going to happen now. To see this isn't good. You want to keep boxing in the forefront, because there's a lot of competition right now with MMA and not real boxing.
Jesus, speaking of MMA, did you see what I? So if you guys don't know,
back to Jeff.
well, I'm back now. So
Yeah, back
sorry.
to Jeff. We'll stop talking.
The bang went right through me. No, I mean, we've gone over that a bunch, but so while it's up and fresh in my mind, did you see what Dana White said about them contacting him? Triller trying to contact him. I posted it. For those of y'all that don't know, go to Lights Out with Lou Savarese on our Facebook site, Instagram site, any of the social media sites were there. Man, he went off about Triller.
I remember,
It was bad. And that was after the fights this weekend. And he was just like, F y'all, F this. I mean, dropping bombs left and right, telling Triller, like, stop calling me. He basically called the Jake Paul brothers and all that just a joke. And he's like, all of y'all know it's a joke. Every effing one of y'all know. Like, what the hell are y'all calling me for? Because he doesn't want them in the MMA octagon at all.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, he's got all that on lockdown. I mean, there's no reason for Dana White to have any other outside influence involved in that at all.
Asker was an MMA guy.
Yeah, well, he went to the boxing. Yeah, so he went to the boxing ring, and what happened?
No, I'm just saying, though, I'm sure Dana White wasn't happy about that, one of his guys
Not at all.
being a dissident.
Yeah, and he's got some great fights coming up, some great stuff that, I mean, fighters coming in and out. Like, I mean, I think he's fine, and that's just go to Lights Out with Lou Savarese and look. I put it up a couple of days ago. It's incredible what he says. Like,
They really control the environment from a business standpoint.
Dana White and the UFC.
The UFC, they won't let guys wear. I mean, you have to wear something UFC. You can't wear like Everlast. If you look, you won't see guys wearing anything. It has to be UFC. It's all about they don't want anybody to be bigger than the brand. That's why I truly believe that's why McGregor was put in there to lose that fight. Not that it was a fair fight, but I think they wanted him to lose. He was just getting too big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my opinion. But he was getting bigger than the brand. And he was talking about leaving the UFC and going on his own and stuff. I don't think they like that.
No, I can see that happening. I mean, that's a hot
said
sports opinion. I like
was
that.
Was the highest paid athlete this year? Or?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, highest paid athlete. Do you watch UFC? Do you ever if it's on, do you sit down and watch it?
Yeah, I just went. I do. I have a friend, Mike Fuse, that we always go over his house and watch it. And we watched it. We were at a suite this weekend and saw it.
So you were there this weekend
Yeah,
whenever it
I
had
was,
it?
yeah.
Okay. When you watch a UFC fight, do you watch it analyzing any of it, or you just watch it as a fan just to see
I
some
watched
guys
it,
hit on
man.
each
I
other?
mean, I was around wrestling growing up, but I'm not really, I didn't know much about jiu-jitsu. I'm just learning. I see it a lot at my gym and people are doing it now, but I can appreciate it too.
Did you see Gary Saluzzi also brings up a good point. He said Dana wasn't happy with Oscar De La Hoya either. He went off on Oscar, calling him all kinds of names. I don't know if it's the cross. I don't know if crossing MMA and boxing is a great idea. It's turned out right now to be some sort of a moneymaker, right? Like you do have, McGregor Mayweather started this whole deal, and then I think we all saw that Mayweather just toyed with him. And then you just saw another UFC fighter come in and get knocked out in 20, 30 seconds, bad. Boxing is a different sport. You don't come in and do that.
Yeah, by not a fighter.
That's it's embarrassing. You're gonna get somebody hurt pretty soon, But
guys are getting on the flip side. UFC guys are getting better at boxing because they're realizing how efficient it is, and also the UFC. They really want the fans don't seem to find it aesthetically pleasing to watch two guys
wrestle.
They just don't find it. So they give some of the fights, guys make more money on getting the knockout of the night than they do on the actual fight. So point being is the way to get knocked out of the night is either kicking or punching or elbow.
Yeah.
So you remember that one kick where the guy ran up the side of the cage and came out? You remember that?
Yeah.
That's been shown. I don't know how many times.
Did you see the guy break his leg on the other guy's leg the other night?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Whoa. That hurts. But yeah, to your point, UFC is gearing towards more of the knockout, more of the boxing, more of the hitting in the face, and because that's what fans want, right?
Yeah, they don't want to watch two guys, wrestle.
We're going to see pretty soon a fighter, probably a boxer, try to get in the UFC ring. That's going to be the first boxer to cross over into that'll probably be a big one. But I think the draw.
Ray Mercer beat, what's his name? The one, I can't remember his name, but Ray Mercer knocked out one of the UFC guys. And then I believe, Butterbean knocked out a WWE guy.
I forget who it was. But you got any history, Grant?
Yeah, but Butterbean knocked out a UFC guy too, I think.
Ray Mercer, I see him either fighting Tim Sylvia or
Tim Silva.
Kimbo Slice.
He knocked out Tim Silva.
Okay.
But Kimbo Slice really wasn't an MMA guy. He was more of a tough guy, right?
Yeah, have you ever seen the backyard videos of Kimbo Slice?
Yeah.
Knocking people eyes,
Jesus.
literally eye sockets just
That
not
dude.
eye, but just ugh.
Wow. That's
You have some
crazy.
history? Let's go over some history.
I do, man. I got some history. And what's good is I think I got some history that get some good input by.
You think you can get Boochcraft to maybe sponsor the show?
Boochcraft?
Yeah, let's do. I'm gonna reach out to him.
Good.
Reach out to him and say, "Hey, would you like to?"
Tell him to get this calorie count down, dude. 230. That's a lot because now the whole thing with these drinks is they're 100 calories per can, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Michelob Ultra and all these.
Right,
new-
And you don't want to have a fat Bucci. Booty.
Look at this guy.
Booch
He's funny,
crap.
man.
But I'm
He's
interested
funny.
in this stuff. I think me and Ashley might have to try this one.
There you go. Try it out. That'll be cool.
Done.
My tough guy image will not let me drink Boochcraft.
That's fine. People can call me
if
whatever. I'm fine
If we
with
get an
that. I really don't
alcoholic
care.
beverage, if we get an alcoholic beverage to sponsor the show or anything, because you are Lou Savarese and you're what does it have to be? Like a bourbon, a whiskey? Or would
How about this? How about
Lou
we?
Savarese with Boochcraft?
Yeah. How about we get a liquor company to sponsor our show where we celebrate Lou sobriety?
Lou sobriety.
That's in a mixed message.
Brought to you by.
No, that'd be a little awkward.
Yeah.
All right, so May 16th through the 22nd, which is this week. So we're gonna go over what happened in boxing history. May 16th, 1955, Rocky Marciano beats Don Cockle by TKO in the 9th round at Kezar Stadium, San Francisco, to retain his world heavyweight boxing title. Rocky Marciano.
Only undefeated heavyweight champion.
Yep.
Heavyweight. There's a few fighters that are undefeated, obviously.
No,
but
I think the only guy besides Marciano is Mayweather right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mayweather.
I don't think anybody else ever.
Canelo's undefeated.
No,
No.
Canelo's not
Oh,
undefeated.
no, he lost to Mayweather.
Lost to Mayweather. Yeah.
Who's got the other? I had to look it up, but I feel up.
There's plenty of guys that are undefeated, but none of them are retired.
Yeah, I don't know about retired, and obviously
Mayweather was
this is an exhibition fight coming
if you
up.
remember, it was really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Larry Holmes went for the. He was going to tie the championship and lost to Michael Spinks, and Holmes said something real derogatory about Marciano. He said Marciano couldn't carry his jock, and people hated Holmes for that. But it was really, I think Holmes was a great champion. I think what it was, you just stick a microphone in somebody's face right after you just fought.
Correct,
Lost
yeah.
a close decision. It's
Yeah.
really tough.
It's interesting when you look at the list, when you do an undefeated world boxing champions, you look at the list, there's a pretty significant list, but some of these people, I mean, I've never
Right
even
now,
heard of.
none of them retired. Though.
Yeah, I've never even heard of some of these people, but and some of them are like really back in the day. So May 16th, 1975, Muhammad Ali TKO's Ron Lyle in 11 for a heavyweight boxing title.
Lyle was a beast. I mean, he was a real beast, and him and Lyle and Foreman had one of the most incredible fights ever. I want to say there was 4 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. They were just
In the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, Foreman wound up knocking out. But Lyle,
We got to look that up.
Lyle was a big puncher. You got to watch that fight. It was a war.
Foreman versus Lyle.
Yeah, but Lyle was a beast.
Yeah.
Just shoot Ali.
And then May 16th, 1977, Muhammad Ali beats Alfredo Evangelist in 15 for the heavyweight boxing title.
Yeah, he was a tough guy too. Where was he from? Darn it. Was he from?
Alfredo Evangelist.
I don't know if he was Spanish. I think he was from Spain.
Okay. May 19th, 1909, in his first title defense, Jack Johnson fights Philadelphia Jack O'Brien to a no decision in 6 rounds in Philadelphia to retain his world heavyweight crown.
What is a no decision? Must have been a disqualification or something.
I guess. I don't know.
What year was that?
1909.
1909.
1909, yeah. Jack Johnson.
How did news travel back then? Like, if you're fighting like,
Slowly.
down
Slowly.
here, slowly, like, geez, like
Slowly.
but horseback to get up to New York. Like, if you fought here in Texas, and then like,
Telegram, right?
Yeah, something like that. May 20th, 1983, American heavyweight boxer Larry Holmes beats countryman Tim Witherspoon by split decision to retain his WBC title at the Dunes Hotel.
I fought Witherspoon, boy. He's a beast.
yeah, we've actually talked about your fight.
One of the nicest guys, and it was cool because I was so angry in that fight. Not going, he's the nicest guy, but my manager. We just talked about it recently. My manager pissed me off, and he meant well, but he said, "Don't try and knock this guy out." And I was like, "What?" He said, "No, but you can't knock this guy out." And I was like, "I'm knocking this guy out." I did knock him out, but
You did knock him out.
I did. Yeah, it was tough. He was tough. He hit me with a big right hand in the first round.
What round did you knock Witherspoon out
I
at?
think it was the 5th or the 6th. Or maybe 5th or 6th. We fought in California, in Fresno, California.
Damn.
Nice guy, man. What a nice guy.
We've actually, you said that he's a nice guy. You said he hits hard.
Yeah,
you've talked about him before on the show.
Man, yeah.
I see here Fredo and Evangelist Uruguay.
Yeah.
That's what it says. So there you go.
Try something.
If you don't know, now you know. May 20th, 1983, Michael Dokes and Mike Weaver fight to a draw in 15 rounds for heavyweight boxing title.
Dokes was a beast. So was Weaver. Weaver had maybe the best physique on any heavyweight. He was Adonis.
Do his cut?
Yeah. He was in shape. He fought. Weaver lost to John Tate. No, Weaver knocked Tate out. I think it was the 15th round, last round, and Weaver was losing every round.
Is that the one where he took his girlfriend home?
Yeah, he took his wife. I think.
He knocked him out in the last.
That's the most gangster shit I've ever heard of in my life.
That's an insult thing.
Yeah, man, knocking him out and then taking his woman home.
That's
Ouch.
That's like one of the most gangster things I've ever heard of in my life. Dude.
Holy shit.
That is fantastic. I love that.
It's a bad night.
I know. May 20th,
Or a good
1985.
night, depending on
Yeah. May 20th, 1985. Larry Holmes, I guess, liked fighting on May 20th. 1985. Larry Holmes beats Carl Williams in 15 for the heavyweight boxing title.
Call the truth. He was blind, man. He was almost legally blind. He was. I was in a. I was in this place in the Bronx on 233rd Street. It was a sporting goods store. And I just went to my first boxing gym. It was called Wakefield Forum on White Plains Road. And I was in this sporting goods store and I was buying some stuff. And Carl Williams walked in. He kind of looked like he had glasses, big dude. And he said something. He goes, "You a boxer?" And I go, "Yeah." And I go, "What are you, a nerd?" And he goes, I walk in the gym and there he is. Everybody's like shaking his head. I'm like, who's that? He's like, that's Carl Williams. I was like, oh shit.
That's a
Like,
great.
we used to spar afterwards.
Yeah.
He couldn't see, but he could fight.
Did you talk shit in the ring?
No.
You didn't at all. You kept quiet. You never said, because I know there's a
one
bunch of
time-
fighters that do.
One time I said to Foreman, he hit me, and I said, "Is that all you got?" And then he hit me really hard again. I was like, "I ain't saying nothing no more."
Yeah, when I've watched your fights, man, you are pretty quiet in the ring. Like you're pretty, like you don't really get real animated. You don't really get real.
That's my thing.
You did get in. I can't remember who it was you were fighting, where you were talking about them going low a lot.
Yeah, that was Holyfield. No, it was Headbutt.
Oh yeah, headbutt.
headbutt,
That's right. Yeah, the headbutt.
yeah.
Yeah. May 21st, 8. I just brought this up because I thought this was interesting. May 21st, 1891. Australian boxer Peter Jackson and future world heavyweight champion Jim Corbett fight to a no contest. No contest.
How many rounds?
61 rounds.
Good Lord.
Were those 3-minute rounds, though?
Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So you fight for 61 rounds.
No contest?
No contest.
No. I wonder if there was a
Forget that.
rematch clause.
That's 3 hours.
Forget that.
Was there a rematch clause?
No. May 21st, 1966. Muhammad Ali TKOs Henry Cooper in 6 for heavyweight boxing title.
That was crazy. I remember Ali said that was in the UK, and that was the fight that made what's his name really famous, Angelo Dundee, because Cooper had brine on his gloves. And
Oh, yeah.
he got brine, and Ali wanted to quit, went back, and so Dundee cut the glove and said, "Oh, he just said the gloves are cut or whatever." But Dundee
That's it. Bought him time, right?
Yeah, bought him time because Ali wanted to quit because he couldn't see. And
Yeah.
and I remember Ali saying that he just went there and how many people against him. Cooper was a really big name in the UK.
Yeah.
Tough fighter too.
Trez Black says ice cold, and Gary Saluzzi says Lou would always let his hands do the talking.
Thank you guys.
May 21st, and I thought this was cool.
My hands speak more clearly than my mouth.
People get the point better that way.
I think so.
Yeah. May 21st, 2016, on the same card, and I thought this was cool because these are people that we know. On the same card, American boxer Jermell Charlo KOs John Jackson in the 8th to claim the vacant WBC super welterweight title. And then Jermall Charlo beats Austin Trout on points to retain IBF version. First twins to hold world championships in the same weight division.
Wow.
That's cool.
Good for the Charlo brothers, man.
Yeah, May
That's awesome.
21st, 2016.
There was the other twins in boxing, Fingers, the Finger twins. They were managed by Michael Spinks, I think, but I don't know if they what was it?
I was waiting for like a
There's a joke, there, but I don't know. I got to figure one out.
I'm telling you, those twins.
No, I know. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying the finger twins.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
thought
joke
something
there.
was in
I can't. I'm mad at myself. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I was over here just like
I know.
something's coming.
I know.
Something's coming.
Put them together and make peace.
True.
Yeah.
Very, very, yeah.
That's a good point. Or a shocker.
Take one away and you're fucked.
That's just one.
See, there's man.
I know. You can go.
There was two twins named the Fingers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Raleigh fingers.
No.
That's baseball.
Yeah, that's
He had a
baseball.
good mustache.
Yeah, he did. Oakland.
Yeah, real cool mustache. May 22nd, 1993, Riddick Bowe TKOs Jesse Ferguson in 2 for a heavyweight boxing title.
Yeah, I was at that fight. Yeah, that was actually a big upset. Everybody thought he beat Ferguson, but Ferguson had a good chin and Bowe knocked him out.
How do you TKO him in the second? Like just destroying him?
Yeah, Bowe was and Ferguson coming low, and Bowe had a wicked uppercut, but Bowe was a huge puncher.
You've been on record saying that's the hardest puncher that you've ever faced, like the hardest hitter.
Bowe probably should have been the greatest heavyweight ever. He had some issues, but
Mentally?
yeah, he was kind of a big kid. I mean, he was a funny guy.
Yeah.
Big dude, man. The guy's hands were huge. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, and you got big hands too, so I can imagine if you thought that dude's hands were big. That dude's.
No, he had huge hands.
Yeah. May 17th, 1956. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going birthdays now, real quick. May 17th, 1956, born Sugar Ray Leonard, American boxer, Olympic gold, 1976.
I've been seeing this kid a lot on Instagram. His son is on there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May 7th.
Sugar Ray, excuse me for the Sugar Ray's been sober, I think, I want to say 12 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
May 17th, 1960, Lou DiBella American boxing promoter. His birthday is May 17th.
Lou
That's
DiBella.
that's who Shocky's in the lawsuit with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know DiBella real well. DiBella, my best DiBella story is one of my managers called me up. I told you guys about this before, to take a fight with Michael Grant. And I said, listen, I can't fight. My shoulder's messed up, blah, blah, blah. And they said, you got to take the fight. I will sue you if you don't take the fight. Anyway, they told me there was $750 in the fight. I literally got on the phone, called DiBella up. He was the president of HBO Boxing. I said, hey, Lou, what's going on with this Grant fight? He said, oh, it's a great fight for you. I said, what's in the fight? He said, well, I can give you $1 million. And I said, give me $250 of training expenses. He said, done. So they would have left that much money on the table, and I got it done in that one phone call.
Damn.
Wow. Nice.
That's what you call being proactive, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then May 21st, 1957, born Bruce Buffer, the American mixed martial arts announcer. Yeah.
Michael Buffer, his brother Michael Buffer.
Yep. Both of
Those are two.
Ready to rumble.
Those are two very wealthy men off of doing that.
He gets paid. So he coined the phrase, obviously, and he gets paid $1 million every time he says it. Like every single time he says it, he gets paid $1 million. Like,
Why do you just keep saying it?
well, I mean, obviously somebody has to pay him to say it. Like for the first.
Just walking around
Just walking
saying,
around, let's get ready to rumble.
Wait, why is Bruce wealthy?
well, I think if I remember reading correctly, Bruce Buffer got involved on UFC like at the ground level, like when it first started, like really kicking off. And then
I'll be honest with you, if I was UFC, I would never went for him. It's like you got to get the guy's brother. You can't get the big guy.
well, both of them are.
Yeah, I mean, they both make a lot of money.
A lot of money. I did bring up a marriage just because I remember this guy. May 18th, 1996, heavyweight boxer Tommy Morrison wed Dawn Freeman. Tommy Morrison was 27 at the time.
Wait. He wed who?
Dawn Freeman?
Dorn.
Doran.
D-A-W-N?
Dawn. D-A-W-N.
Don.
Dawn Freeman.
Don Freeman?
Yeah.
His son trains at the downtown.
You made it sound like D-O-N.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Dawn Freeman? Dawn.
I was like, no wonder he
Dawn.
died of HIV or right.
This guy.
That's really wrong.
This guy.
No, he did, right?
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
He passed away from HIV?
Yeah.
Correct? And he was on it. Man, he was on the Rocky movie. Wasn't that Tommy
Yeah.
Morrison?
Rocky 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky 5. And then last, I did want to bring up a death. May 22nd, 1990, the great Rocky Graziano passed away. Died of heart failure at 71.
You know that wasn't his real name?
Rocky Graziano?
That wasn't his real name. I believe that was. I think he went to jail and he kind of.
What are you watching, Greg?
Yeah, back then you didn't have to. You didn't have like IDs or whatever. Look, see if his real name was.
I was looking up the Finger Twins. That's what I was looking up.
Dude, something popped up on Grant's screen.
It was a commercial. It wasn't that.
shit.
I do that at home.
His name was.
Wow.
Bobo. See if you can see what Rocky Graziano's real name was.
Okay.
You know Rocky Juarez, who we had on the show last week at his gym,
Yeah,
which
I
is
know.
incredible. Go back and watch this show if you guys get to. I'll just type in "Lights Out with Lou Savarese" on any one of your podcasts, wherever you get
Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson, that was his real name. And I believe Graziano, that wasn't his real name either.
Rocky Graziano's real name was Thomas Rocco Barbella.
Yeah.
it. Good job.
Good job, Lou.
Wow, we
And
all
hold
show.
on.
All
This is going on. I'll bet you, not to everyone knows, I'll bet you Sugar Ray Robinson's real name was Walker T. Smith, I think. See if you can find it.
Walker T.
So Sugar Ray Robinson was
That
not
wasn't
his real name.
No, I think it was it Walker Smith or Walker?
Real quick, Gary Saluzzi wants to know where's your big event going to be, and I mean we'll let you guys know if we're gonna have Jerry Cooney on the show this week, and if we may have to redo the show pretty soon.
What was it?
Walker Smith Jr.
Damn, that was good.
Walker Smith Jr.
Walker Smith Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I never knew that for like.
Lou Savarese is Lou Savarese.
Yeah, let's think of what would be your boxer name. Not Lou Savarese. It's got to be something else. What would be your boxer name?
Can it be still?
Be whatever you want. Your boxer name.
The Italian stallion.
My rapper name is Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yeah,
Lucifer.
that's my rapper.
Lucifer.
How would you spell that?
L-O-U and then the letter C
F-U-R.
F-U-R. Lucy.
Would you have like a dot in between them, like Will I Am?
I haven't got that far yet. I haven't been-
Oh my God.
Lucifer. I like that, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks.
You guys stay tuned to Lights Out with Lou Savarese Facebook site, Instagram site, all that. We're going to announce a special show, hopefully having these guys on. Jerry Cooney's coming in town. Lou's got a special event that's coming up Wednesday. Hopefully we're going to get to that soon. We'll let you guys know.
What athlete's name would be the best name for a alternative club?
Alternative Club,
Alternative Club.
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
Raleigh Fingers.
No. Magic Johnson. Right?
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, the Magic.
You're a genius, man. I love you.
Magic Johnson.
You're fantastic.
So anybody out there just wanted to open it up an alternative club?
Yeah.
Magic Johnson is on the table for the
Well,
name.
it could be the Magic Johnson.
Yeah, or your next gym is called what? Backdoor Gym.
You stop.
That's what she
No.
said.
You're the one that brought that up the first time.
The
I
backdoor
go to
gym.
MMA gym called Submissions.
Oh, submission.
Magic
Submissions by Magic Johnson.
We're really going down the wrong road. It's terrible.
This is getting bad.
Yeah.
It's the,
See what to do with boxing.
the cooch craft that started.
It's the
this.
cooch craft.
the boots craft.
Craft.
Man, trust me, I'm gonna have to put a little thing on Twitter and Instagram or whatever, and I have to tag them and bang.
It's good stuff.
Maybe we can get some sponsorships.
Yeah.
Lou's going sober. Brought to you by Boochcraft.
Yeah. Let's celebrate sobriety. We want to thank this liquor company.
Well, for those of y'all that don't know, Lou will be sober 1 year on a week from today, and Jerry Cooney, a couple of his buddies are coming to town. We'll let you guys know where we're going to have the show, what we're going to do for it. But, man, thanks for y'all paying attention. Sorry about the technical difficulties off the top of the show. We got
I blame Jeff.
You blame me? That's
Yes.
all right. Thank you. But we got them figured out. I'm glad the rest of the show went well. Man, next week's show should be amazing. We're not sure if we're going to have it on Wednesday or not.
I'd like to say I helped out with the technical problems, but they ain't a chance in hell.
No, I think you did good, man.
Thank you.
I think you did real well. Yeah.
Pretty soon we're going to get one of these jackets that Lou has on because I like that, man.
Yeah, if I figure out where I got them. You know.
So what? Did you just go into the closet and it was just there and you put it on?
Yeah.
You don't know where you got it?
I mean, it was.
It's a good looking jacket.
I'm here.
Stay tuned for Lou's outfit this coming up show. But hey, man, it's been a great hour. Appreciate it. We'll hopefully
Lavelle and Terrell Finger.
What I said.
There you go.
So-
The
Boom.
Finger twins.
Nice.
I
Wow.
love it.
R.I.P.
So I think they were.
Finger
They were
twins.
managed by. They were managed by
Spinks.
Michael Spinks. Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Spinks. Yeah, it's cool.
By the way, R.I.P. Terrell Finger.
Yep.
Passed.
Yep. There's
That's what it
only-
says.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what it
shit.
says.
R.I.P.
But thank y'all for paying attention to Lights Out with Lou Savarese. I'm Jeff Michael Grant Miles. This is Lou Savarese. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Follow us on all your podcast sites, and we'll see you, man. We
We
out.
have the music going out too. I think.
Yeah, I think they already play it. They play it for us,
On the way.
but we just don't hear it.
Why don't we hear it?
I don't know.
Grind, we don't sleep. Let me shine, let me eat. Ain't no running when I'm coming to official in the ring. Ain't no one that made it different, had to do it for the team. Put the city on my back, New Orleans rocking out the east. Had the vision to go get it, now I'm plotting on the steams. Only rocking with the team, ain't nobody but the team. They yelling. Every time they see me in the streets, they yelling. Just because I'm fighting on TV, they yelling. Lord knows I did it for the team. They ain't make nobody like me. So folks can never stop. For my kids and all the years I've been grinding.